Hey, everybody, how's it going? So, I have been seeing the craziest posts from leftists in general, absolutely melting down over this, all because Trump said, hey, it's a possibility that Tylenol is causing a huge uptick in autism from pregnant women who take it. It's not like it's a crazy, far-reaching possibility, but there are so many leftists who are like, but Tylenol just has no downsides whatsoever. It's like, if you really believe that, if you really believe that there's anything in life that doesn't have a side effect, you're living in a fantasy. Every single thing you put in your body has a potential side effect. Everything. You just have to be aware of it. And if this is what's causing the issues, we need to definitely look into this more. And it's not, this is the thing. These leftists, oh my God, I've seen so many posts and even good friends who are like, he can't even pronounce acetaminophen. Do you think Trump went in there with a microscope, figured this all out by himself and came out with it and was like, I have discovered the cure for autism? Like, that's next level stupidity. If Biden's admins came out and said, hey, we found this out, there's a study, came from a really, really reliable source, which the reliable source happens to be Harvard. I guess Harvard's just not a reliable source anymore to the left. The left does not believe that Harvard is any longer, credible whatsoever, I guess. Damn the science. Using acetaminophen during pregnancy may increase children's autism and ADHD risk. This is from August 20th of 2025, before Trump made the announcement. This is straight from Harvard. And, just seeing leftists in general go, oh my gosh, Trump is such an idiot for this. Are you guys kidding me? At least go and look into the sources. The left doesn't even do that anymore. They just get outraged. Anytime Trump says something, they're like, nope. Not even looking at the sources, not giving a crap of where it came from, who did the research, or anything like that. It's something worth looking into. Now, I'm a person who has always refused medicine unless I absolutely needed it. If my fever went over 104, which that's only happened one time to me in my life, I then took medicine. I always refused medicine because, look, medicine is it's the same thing as, I guess, eating too much. You know what I mean? When you eat too much, what does your body do? Well, it stops being as active. You're doing things, you're sitting down, you gain weight, right? That happens whenever you use medicine too. Your body becomes dependent on the medicine instead of fighting it off itself. It's being lazy because it's like, oh, I'm conditioned now. If the fever gets up this high, don't worry. Outside factors will just come on in and take care of it. It gives your body every single excuse to not take care of itself if you use it too much. It's not, and don't get me wrong, you're not going to go there and take, Tylenol 30 times in your life and your body go, well, I'm dependent. I'm talking about thousands of times. Anytime you even feel a headache coming on, you're like, ooh, I got a little bit of a headache. I'll just go ahead and preemptively take Tylenol. You know what I mean? Or take ibuprofen or whatever else may be out there. That's not a good idea. To become so dependent on over-the-counter drugs that you put them in your body consistently. Here's the thing, too. I'll even say this. A lot of people go out and they try to get all their vitamins. They increase their vitamin intake and all that. That's good if you don't have a way to naturally do it. However, the right way to do it is to be eating right, drinking right, eating more meat, drinking more water, more mineral-infused water, more remnant meats. Those will get you the vitamins that you are deficient on. There is a way that your body breaks certain things down in smaller amounts that it is used to be able to sustain itself. But when you're overloading, your body starts expecting that. It doesn't do well when you coddle your body like a spoiled 4-year-old. Because then they won't get things themselves. They rely on your outside factors. It's called abusing the substance. It's very simple. It's literally like drinking too much sugary drinks. What happens? Well, your body becomes dependent on the sugar that you're bringing in. So then guess what it stops doing? it stops breaking down the sugars that it needs and starts going into whatever just I'll just say diabetes. You know what I mean? You get it for a reason, because you're overdoing it. It's not like sugar's bad for you. Your body obviously needs sugar to survive. But when you're giving it too much, what happens? And that's the big issue that I think we're seeing. You know, when women are pregnant, they go through morning sickness. It sucks. But when they go and they take Tylenol every single time they start feeling the morning sickness come on, that's when things probably are getting really, really bad. Because it's not just you that's getting it. Imagine the dose that's safe for an adult is going to a fetus that's about that big. Think about what that could possibly be doing. It's all passing through there. It's a massive, massive dose. So when they sit there and they say it's safe, and then yet, when your kid comes out of you, and their dosage is like way smaller. Think about that. Their dosage is way smaller when they come out of the womb. But what dose are you taking when they're in the womb? Adult size. It makes sense that this would be more prevalent in the womb than outside. Because then when they're outside of the womb, if we have to give them Tylenol, they get so much smaller of a dose outside of the womb than they do inside of the womb. To me, that's just kind of common sense, right? Anything you're putting in your body is a full dose compared to what you're giving to the child outside of your body. So anyway, let's read the study, because I want to get this out there first, and then I want to get into Tylenol's little clapback to Trump. When children are exposed to acetaminophen, also known by the brand name Tylenol or paracetamol, during pregnancy, they may be more likely to develop neurodevelopmental disorders, NDDs, including autism, ADHD, according to a new study. The study was published August 14th in BMC Environmental Health. Andrea Baccarelli? I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so sorry about that. Dean of the faculty at Harvard, T.H. Chan School of Public Health and Professor of Environmental Health, was senior author. The study was led by Icon, I think it's Icon, I'm not sure, School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, and also included co-authors from other institutions. The researchers analyzed results from 46 previous studies worldwide that investigated the potential link between prenatal acetaminophen. Good Lord, that word is so hard to use. My wife, she uses the proper term because she's a nurse. So I always go acetaminophen. Every time, to her, I'll go acetaminophen, just being weird. But anyway, I just roll it off the tongue. Woo! That was some thunder. Acetaminophen, and use subsequent NDDs in children. The researchers used the Navigation Guide Systematic Review Methodology, a gold standard framework for synthesizing and evaluating environmental health data, which enabled them to conduct a rigorous, comprehensive analysis that supported the evidence of an association between acetaminophen exposure during pregnancy and increased incidence of NDDs. The researchers noted that while steps should be taken to limit acetaminophen use, the drug is important for treating pain and fever during pregnancy, which can also harm the developing fetus. High fever can raise the risk of neural tube defects and preterm birth. We recommend judicious acetaminophen use. Lowest effective dose, shortest duration under medical guidance, tailored to individual risk-benefit assessments rather than broad limitation, they wrote. In late September, the Food and Drug Administration announced it would issue a letter to clinicians urging them to be cautious about the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy. Baccarelli said he had discussed his study with Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in the weeks leading up to that announcement and provided the White House team with a statement noting his research found evidence of an association between prenatal exposure to acetaminophen and neurodevelopmental disorders. That association is strongest when acetaminophen is taken for 4 weeks or longer. Okay, so there are clear guidelines. Now, the left, for some reason, has taken this to mean that if you take Tylenol, you just get autism. And it's unbelievable because that's not what Trump said in his speech. That's not what Robert Kennedy Jr. said. And that's not what the studies say. Because the left loves spreading really, really, really bad information just to freak the public out because they hate Trump so much. And it blows my mind that they cannot read the words literally on the screen, so I have to read it out to them. And then they're going to come to this video, they're going to comment, and they're going to say, you are anti-science. And why do you hate you just fell for Trump hating Tylenol and stuff? It's like, no. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be very cautious about giving this to my kids still. Simply because we don't know the full effects. And guess what, guys? You don't need to give people Tylenol unless it's an emergency. Unless your kid has over 104-degree fever. You don't have to break the fever with Tylenol. I understand it's hard these days to watch your kids suffer. Okay? When there's such a solution to bring it down. But let me tell you this. This has been a known fact for over a decade. Letting your child fight off an infection is usually better than letting medicine do it. Due to the fact that when you get medicine involved, it stops the production of their immune system. We've known this for a long, long time. The problem is when the infection is too strong and your body can't fight it off, and now they're going up to 105 degrees temperature, 106 degrees, that's when things get really bad and you have to use Tylenol. Totally understandable. We have a technology, and we need to be using it for emergencies. The problem is people are giving their freaking kid Tylenol when they have a 99-degree temperature. Barely even a temperature at all. And it's like you're not even giving your kid's body a chance to build an immune system. You're shutting it all down immediately, which can cause reinfection because the body didn't properly fight it off, goes back down to normal, the kid feels great, and then the whole virus, whatever may be in them, is reproducing rapidly to a point where they can't handle it. People need to be talking to their doctors about this stuff. Okay, I know it's over the counter, and I know it's just really easy to go, oh, okay, I'm going to buy this and give it to my kid. But start actually, we're no longer a family doctor-oriented culture. We used to have family doctors in the 90s. We used to have a little bit more sense of discussing things with a medical professional. We don't do that nearly as often anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, the 90s were very flawed because what they were doing literally with Tylenol today, back then they were doing with antibiotics. Now, today we know that's a horrible, horrible thing, and antibiotics should never be abused like that. First of all, you ever wondered why, even when you're not sick, you still have to continue taking those antibiotics until they're gone? Antibiotics are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. When used correctly, they are the greatest thing we have ever discovered, just about. But usually, if you mess up your antibiotics at all, it could very well be the end of you rapidly. Rapidly. And it's a scary thing because all that has to happen is there has to be one little form of bacteria left behind that the antibiotics missed. And if that happens, or let's say you stop taking them a little early, if that bacteria has came into contact at all with the antibiotics, it will be completely and totally resistant to the antibiotics, and it will reproduce rapidly. You go to take those antibiotics again, it will have zero effect. And that bacteria will spread. You will go septic. You will lose your life. Now, luckily, we have several different types of antibiotics to kind of help fight that off. But the problem is it only takes one time for a bacteria to do it the correct way and become completely and totally resistant. We were giving these out like candy back in the day. Everyone remembers that delicious, delicious pink medicine the doctor gave you as a kid. There were two types. There was the really gross one, and then there was the unbelievably delicious one. And the unbelievably delicious one happened to be the dangerous one. We were just giving kids over and over again. That's why we have so many antibiotic-resistant bacteria today. Pretty scary stuff. So we way overdid it. Way overdid it. Anyway, let's read the last of this. The statement continued. Further research is needed to confirm the association and determine causality. But based on the existing evidence, I believe that caution about acetaminophen during pregnancy use, especially heavily or prolonged use, is warranted. And that's fair. That's completely, totally fair. I'm sorry, I'm not saying your last name. Noted the competing interests section of the research paper that he has served as an expert witness. Didn't they say this was a girl? Now it's saying he. I swear to God, I thought this said that. Okay, maybe I just misread it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Served as an expert witness for plaintiffs in case involving potential links between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and neural development disorders. This is absolutely a fair study. We're sitting here going, hey, we think we found the link, and we may be able to nip it in the bud. This is the best possible thing the best possible news the left could have received, because it means it's not stemming from vaccines. Now, at least to the left's ears, right? We don't actually know, per se. We don't know where it's coming from specifically. But the fact that it's like, hey, we have found some really, really groundbreaking evidence, and we may be able to fix this. Now all we have to do is either change drugs that are being used during this time, or just be like, look, I'm sorry, your first 4 to 6 weeks of pregnancy, you're going to have to tough out the morning sickness. You know what I mean? That sucks, but oh my God, that is so far from like the worst thing ever. Oh no, I got to feel sick for weeks, laying in bed. Oh, that's so bad, isn't it? Like, how spoiled of a society are we to sit here and not be able to go through this? It's pretty unbelievable. Now, Democrats are chugging Tylenol. Guys, okay. Look, as long as you don't go over the recommended dose as an adult, you're fine. An adult is not getting autism. Nobody has claimed that either. I swear to God, leftists are easily the most stupid people on the freaking planet. This is their version of getting back at the president. Nobody cares if you guys do this. Nobody cares. Go ahead, chug away. Just know you're an idiot for it, and if you overdose for it, like, I'm gonna make fun of you to a degree, but please, seriously, don't overdose on it. That's dangerous. That's so stupid. Don't be so stupid you throw your life away over something like this. Never, ever chug Tylenol, guys. You have got to be so stupid to put any kind of medication in your system. I don't care if they're water-soluble vitamins, which are supposed to be 100% harmless. Do not overtake your recommended dose. Ever. Ever. You guys are idiots for doing this. That's so silly. Let's see what Tylenol's saying about this, though, guys, and then we'll close it out. I know this is a longer video, but I think this is an important video.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born. And you know what we have?
So, this is the thing. I'm going to read this out because this is Trump's statement. Well, let's let Trump's statements finish.
More than 3 years left. And I told Bobby and the doctors behind me, and they are so committed to this, I told them, don't take Tylenol.
That's a perfect circular video right there. I tell them, don't take Tylenol. I tell Bobby Kennedy. Yeah, it's so funny if that was actually what he said next. But no, it circles around very well. I told Bobby Kennedy, don't take that Tylenol. You wouldn't be able to talk like that if you just didn't take that Tylenol. That's so funny to me. I don't know why. No, seriously. I agree. Don't be taking it until these studies come out fully. Oh my gosh, you're going to have to suffer for a little bit. Look, guys, you all know damn well that if you're taking Tylenol to manage your pain ain't that bad. You know that very damn well. Because if it was bad enough, you'd be going to the hospital and getting some real drugs. Obviously, we have narcotics. We have things that are much, much, much more powerful than Tylenol. If there's nobody out there, okay, who relies on Tylenol. Guess what we give in hospitals that give free healthcare? What do we give them? We don't give them Tylenol. We give them ibuprofen. We give them meloxicam. We give them things along those lines, NSAIDs that are very, very, very powerful. They are 1,000,000 times more powerful than Tylenol. And they're over-the-counter drugs still. Those are something that you can take. Now, I know that they say don't take, NSAIDs with pregnancy. Wow, I wonder why that is. They're just so harmless. They're so harmless, but it's okay whenever you tell people not to take NSAIDs during pregnancy, right? It's kind of weird how that works. But at the same time, guys, look, I understand. I understand you need pain relief somewhere. Okay, why does this... I'm so irritated. Windows 11 blocks literally my compressor that I would normally use for here. They just block it. They won't let me use it. So that's why my voice didn't sound as good. I'm going to have to find an alternative. I'm so irritated with it. Anyway, sorry about that. This is the problem, okay? Obviously, we have more powerful stuff out there. If you're really in pain, you can get your pain managed. But here's the thing. To be defending this like, oh, well, Tylenol's just, I'm just going to, not go with the science at all. I just don't believe in Trump. It just goes to show the left side of the political aisle is the side of anti-science. They are completely and totally against the science. Remember whenever Trump came out with Operation Warp Speed? Oh, vaccines, they're all bad. Trump's vaccines are bad the moment Biden took over. Everybody, literally, look at this. I'll actually show you. I'll prove this to you. I'll prove this to you how they acted. I don't care. This video can go 30 minutes long. Oh, yeah, here's my video for playing guitar. If you guys ever want to watch that, there's that. Let's see. I need to go to history. Here we go.
I think it's going to be a very skeptical American public about taking the vaccine, and they should be.
We can't trust the president and take his word and take a vaccine that might cause harm to us.
If and when the vaccine comes, and it's not likely to go through all the tests that needs to be and the trials that are needed to be done.
Let's just say there's a vaccine that is approved and even distributed before the election. Would you get it?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue for all of us.
When we finally do, God willing, get a vaccine, who's going to take the shot? Who's going to take the shot?
We will need to have access to the vaccine results so we can make our independent assessment to make sure.
This was literally like a month before the election. And when Joe Biden won, everybody jumped on board because he came out and said that they're safe. And everyone just believed him. Why are you all looking to the president for that? The moment Trump came out with this, I was like, oh, let's go look at the study. That's what I did. That's what I'm showing you guys. I don't trust Trump for my medical diagnosis. He's not a doctor for any type of medical study. But when you go and you look at who performed the studies, it's like, oh, okay, this is pretty legit. So maybe stop making things political, listen to your president, and then go out and look into the research. President comes out and says something, go fact check it. You don't have to believe every word the guy says. But when you come out and you say that our president is an idiot for sharing scientifically sound research that has been done months before the announcement? Well, I guess a full month before the announcement, but, well, yeah, about a full month. That's completely and totally ridiculous that everyone is making this into a political, like, some sort of political side. Oh, now we have the side that's going to start chugging Tylenol in protest? Okay. Well, we're talking about women who are pregnant. But if you think you're going to get autism at the age of 32 by chugging a bunch, or you're wanting to disprove the president, well, look, I won't get autism. I'm 32 years old. I'm going to pop Tylenol. You've got to be a special kind of stupid. You have to be a special kind of stupid to not be reading and listening to what it was the president said and what RFK Jr. said. I have no idea why these people go out of their way to specifically lie about what was being told. It is unbelievable. Now, do not take Tylenol until the studies fully come out. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now, let's see what Tylenol says. We know you have questions about conflicting information you've seen recently in media coverage. Let's see. Yep. What we could tell you is credible, independent scientific data continue to show no proven link between taking acetaminophen and autism. Medical and public health organizations agree. You know who this sounds like? Monsanto. You guys remember Monsanto? Roundup doesn't give cancer. It doesn't do that. Look at how it all ended. Look at how it all ended. It was 1,000,000% causing the cancer. The lawsuits were enormous. And Monsanto slipped out of it by selling off their company to whatever German company that was. I forgot what the name of them was. Just managed to get right out of it and run away. And nobody has held them accountable, unfortunately, but that other company had to pay it all out. It was absolutely proven. The problem is when gigantic companies get together, they hide a lot of that data. They knew back in the 70s that Roundup was causing this kind of cancer. And they hid it all the way till the mid-2000s. Why does anybody think Tylenol couldn't be the same? That's why they need investigated. Let's see here. American College of I don't know what that is. Obstetricians and gynecologists says, why would I trust a gynecologist? I'm not putting the Tylenol up me. You know? Anyway, despite recent unfounded claims, there's no evidence linking prudent uses. I understand why they do gynecologists. I'm just joking, guys. I know. It's a joke. You don't take that literal. I know somebody is gonna. Used to issue with fetal development. Acetaminophen remains a safe, trusted option for pain relief during pregnancy. Look, we have a Harvard study saying that that's not true. And they're like, well, our studies are better. You know what I'm saying? Needs to investigate it further. I would say put it on hold. Do not take it until it's confirmed. Yes, Harvard could be wrong. But rarely in these cases are they. When we find out that, because there's no such thing as a miracle drug. There really isn't. It's very silly to sit there and act like there is. Everything has some sort of side effect. And how long have we been literally doing studies on fetal development with Tylenol? It hasn't been that long. Anyway, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, talk to your doctor before taking any over-the-counter medications, including Tylenol. There's a reason why this is there. You know? Why would there be a risk? Why would they have this risk there? You know, it's kind of like them contradicting themselves, you know? And it says this right down here. If pregnant or breastfeeding, ask a healthcare professional before use. You know, your doctor is the best person to advise whether taking medication is right for you based on your specific health needs. Not necessarily. Doctors aren't exactly researchers. Okay? They can be, but they're not. A lot of doctors literally get paid to recommend certain things. There is behind-the-counter Tylenol. You know, that exists. Doctors do get paid to recommend certain things. So it's not exactly what I would say the best source. Doctors are a great source, but they're not the best source. The best source is the researchers that come out with this stuff. Do you know who busted Monsanto, by the way? It was one private little firm who was almost destroyed by Monsanto that was in California. It's a crazy story of what happened with Monsanto. I don't trust big corporations at all. They will lie to you to make their millions. They don't care. Especially if they found out that the autism risk is like, oh, it's 1 in 30 people that'll get it. Oh, okay, whatever. You know, we can do that. It used to be 1 in 10,000, but now it's 1 in 30 people. But still, that means there's at least 29 people for every one person that's autistic that can still consume Tylenol. That's a massive chunk of the population. Literally, 1 in 30, what is that for 7 billion? That's still a relatively low number. Relatively low number. That's still probably like 4 or 5 billion people who are totally fine. Just saying. So, anyway, at the end of the day, guys, just take your caution. You don't have to take it. You're not in that much pain if you're taking Tylenol. You simply aren't. And if you're in more pain than what Tylenol can handle anyway, you're taking the wrong stuff. Tylenol, not that strong. I believe you can't take more than 4,000 milligrams in a day of Tylenol. And I think it's more than 801 dose that you're not supposed to consume, or is it 1,000? I can't remember. Maybe I always get ibuprofen and Tylenol mixed up, whatever. But anyway, guys, use caution. And don't be taking this stuff until further studies come out. It's the smartest thing to do. Just protect yourself and protect your kid. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Join my Discord down the link below, and I will see you guys here in the next one. Later.